I borrowed this money to pay for this appointment. In fact, those I can tell you, they will also written to EFCC asking me to refund their money. So I'm not even here to pay the money back. I borrowed this money. Attempts to my life, several attempts to my life. Honestly, you know, I requested Mr. President to set up an independent panel the last time I came out to do the rejoinder. That Mr. President should please set up an independent panel to look into assassination attempts to my life and to look deeply into the material death of Mr. Tanimola. Mr. Sheikh, nobody is talking about the late Tanimola again. Nobody is talking about the mysterious death of Mr. Tanimola. As I'm talking to you tonight, the hotel, the authority claimed the man got inferno and died, has been demolished tonight. I can tell you in good faith. They are just trying to clean up the evidences. So just imagine, I know, okay, it's an intermediary between myself and the chief of staff, but I was there, they communicate. I have the number of chief of staff and he called the same number. So that gave me the evidence that he delivered the money. The payment was okay. They will give me, I told them that there's no how I will get money without an appointment. That if I get a letter of appointment, then we can proceed to payment. So when they gave me the letter, they said, until I know that chief of staff doesn't issue appointment. It's SGF. But the agreement was, once I balanced off, they will convey the approval of the appointment to SGF to give me the appointment by the SGF. So anything I need pertaining to the office, once I say, oh, we want to do X, Y, Z, you say, okay, you will reach out to chief. Then, lo and behold, you will just say, write a letter to X, Y, Z, and I will do. Truly, everything will be perfect. They will grant me the request. So that's how we have been rolling till we get to this stage. I was convinced when I was getting the paraphernalia of the office. For instance, I was giving office at the Federal Secretariat. From the office of the SGF, let me tell you, Mr. Sheikh, office of the SGF, I wrote to the late email told me that chief said I should write to the SGF, which I did. And lo and behold, it was honored. SGF wrote a letter to EFCC to give 3 agencies, my agency, Honorable Minister of Steel, and the disability, I forgot the name, the disability agency. The 3 of us, they wrote the letter to EFCC to give us accommodation, office accommodation from the forfeiture properties, which EFCC took it up upon themselves. I was invited, took me around Abuja to select the work befitting of my office, which I chose one. And they asked me, they wrote a letter. I have all these evidences. They wrote a letter to my agency, to me personally, that I should pay 300 million naira grant rent to the recovery account in CBN. I was like, I reached out to my late Tanimola that how would I get 300 million naira that EFCC asked me to pay into CBN recovery account? And he said, don't worry. Once your money, the take-off grant comes in, you will do that. However, we will talk to the chief, and chief will talk to the SGF to give me an office accommodation, pending the time that they will release the take-off grant of 27.3 billion naira to the agency. Then I will be able to pay conveniently the 300 billion naira requested by the EFCC. So I borrowed this money. In fact, those that I borrowed this 100 million naira from, as reported to EFCC, I borrowed this money to pay for this appointment. In fact, those I can tell you, they will also written to EFCC asking me to refund their money. So I'm not even here to pay the money back. I borrowed this money. However, I'm still further appealing to him to please set up an independent panel. You can see that Presidency has already exonerated His Excellency Honorable Olufemi Gbadagbamila in this matter, saying the chief of staff does not know anything. It's okay. But let an independent panel prove that.
The Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council controversy has become one of the most unusual political scandals in Nigeria because it raises a simple but important question. How could a man allegedly run an organization the presidency says does not exist? Adeyemi's admission that he borrowed 400 million naira to secure the appointment has shifted the debate from whether the council exists to how Nigeria's institutions allegedly allow the situation to continue for months. If true, it suggests possible corruption. If false, it raises a question about why such a claim would be made publicly. Recent images circulating online show him with EFCC chairman Ola Olukayode and older photographs with former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Goodluck Jonathan, among other prominent personalities. While such appearances do not by themselves prove any official relationship or endorsement, they strengthen public perception that he had access to influential circles. Another major issue attracting public attention is the reported 1.3 billion naira budgetary allocation linked to the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council. If the presidency maintains that the council does not legally exist, Nigerians will naturally ask, why was there a reported budget allocation of about 1.3 billion naira associated with the council? Who proposed the allocation? Which ministry or agency processed it? Was the money approved by the National Assembly? Was any part of the allocation released or spent? If funds were spent, who accounted for them? If no money was released, how did the allocation appear in official budget records? These questions go beyond one individual and touch on Nigeria's budgetary and public finance systems. Investigators will likely seek to determine whether the allocation was an administrative error, part of a legitimate government process, or evidence of a deeper institutional problem. In football analogy, VAR didn't fail, the entire refereeing team did. Imagine the 2025-2026 Premier League season. Suppose a man walks into Old Trafford wearing Manchester United manager's tracksuit, sits on the bench, conducts press conferences, signs sponsorship deals, and receives visitors for months. People will ask, who is he? Who gave him the dressing room? Who accredited him? Why didn't security stop him? Where were the Premier League officials? That is where the council story becomes bigger than Adeyemi himself. If the presidency insists the council does not exist, Nigerians naturally want to answer these questions. Who allocated the office space reportedly used by the organization? Was public money ever spent on its operations? Did any ministry or agency officially engage with it? Who introduced Adeyemi as Director General? Were government officials attending its meeting? Were official letters, vehicles, security personnel, or government facilities made available? If the answer to all these questions is no, investigators must explain how the organization appears for function publicly. If the answer is yes, responsibility may extend beyond one individual. Every federal government agency is ordinarily expected to have legal backing, a budgetary allocation, a supervising ministry, accounting officers, procurement procedures, oversight by the National Assembly. If the council had none of these, another question emerges. Who approved any expenditure associated with its activities, including the reported 1.3 billion naira budget allocation? That may become one of the most important issues investigators will explain. Politically, the controversy comes at a sensitive time. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has consistently presented itself as pursuing anti-corruption, investment promotion, institutional reforms, improved governance. An organization allegedly presenting itself as operating from the presidency without clear legal backing and reportedly linked to a 1.3 billion naira budget allocation could undermine investor confidence if not fully explained. This may explain why the presidency distanced itself from the council and directed the ICPC to investigate it, like a football club fighting relegation. In football, when a club is struggling, every mistake attracts greater attention. Nigeria is currently dealing with high inflation, pressure on foreign investment, unemployment, public demand for accountability. Any controversy touching the presidency naturally attracts intense public scrutiny. Nigeria's economy continues to face significant pressure. Inflation has remained above 20% in recent months. Foreign direct investment has fallen significantly compared with a decade ago. Government continues efforts to attract international investors while implementing economic reforms. Against that backdrop, uncertainty surrounding any agency claiming to promote foreign investment could affect investor confidence. Perhaps the most extraordinary statement is Adeyemi's claim that lenders reported him to the EFCC after he borrowed 400 million naira to obtain the appointment. If investigators establish that money changed hands in exchange for public office, it could point to serious corruption offenses. If no such payment occurred, investigators may explain why such claims was made publicly and whether it was intended to mislead. Questions investigators may seek to answer is who first introduced Adeyemi as Director General, who authorized the use of government symbols or facilities. Did any serving public official assist him? Was there any official transaction linked to obtaining the position? Were forged documents used? What became of the reported 1.3 billion naira budget allocation? Who benefited from this council's activities? This controversy is no longer just about Adeyemi because it was alleged that even some money went to the Chief of Staff to the President. It is about institutional accountability. Just as a football club cannot blame any one striker after conceding 5 goals, this case raises questions about every part of the system that may have enabled the situation. Whether the outcome points to individual misconduct, institutional failure, or a wider network of collaborators, the investigation by the ICPC and any action by the EFCC will be crucial in determining the facts. Until those investigations are concluded, it is important to distinguish between public allegations, Adeyemi's own claims, reported budget records, official government statements, and facts established by evidence. I don't know what your take is. Please drop them on the comment section. But don't forget to like and share. Do well to subscribe so you'll be the first to get our videos as they drop. Till next time, please stick to this channel.